One, the planning minister, and I do get to talk to him on occasion, has said that he will set up a university in every district of Pakistan. His slogan is education at your doorstep. He said it's expensive for students to have to go to Islamabad or Lahore. If we have a university in their district, they won't have to do that. But we at Quaid-e-Azam University, supposedly the top-ranked university in the country, we cannot always get the quality of faculty that we are looking for. Very close by, Fatma Jinnah University, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Samina Qadir, tells me people with doctorates are not available for faculty positions at Fatma Jinnah Women's University, and that's in Rawalpindi, which is not an unattractive place to be. If we set up a university in every district, where are we going to get the faculty from? It would be cheaper to send students from those districts to existing universities and strengthen those universities. The second point about Quaid-e-Azam University, we may be #1 in the rankings, but we are badly underfunded. This year alone, we have a 500 million rupee deficit. I would urge the government to support and strengthen existing universities rather than try to set up these campuses in districts where you will not find the faculty and where you'll have to put in a whole lot of money. And my last point, the HEC, through the federal government, has pumped in very large sums of money into higher education. I think it is just as important, perhaps more important, that we invest money at lower levels, because the input that we get at our universities is very poor. So we need to have a pyramid structure where the base has been ignored and only at the apex is all of that money coming in. We need to strengthen education at the lowest levels, and then those students will go on and come into our colleges and universities. Thank you.
Any other question?
Rather asking a question, I want to make one comment. Director Nisar Ahmed Siddiqui Saab, about that Sukkur IBA is a thought process. Because the importance of education that I can understand, no one can better understand than me, because my grandfather was a dispatch rider, and after his retirement, he given the education, he spent his whole money of retirement on his son's education. And I am sitting in front of you people as a faculty member of Sukkur IBA. Last year I remember during the convocation, directors have announced one thing, that Sukkur IBA is, Karachi IBA is opening his campus in DHA. That is again providing the education for the elite class. And I still remember those words that sir announced that we'll open our campus in Kandkot. That is very deprived cities. That we really proud that I am the member of Sukkur IBA family. Really proud of it. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Mahmood. I'm working for State Bank of Pakistan. I'm heading the Knowledge Management Division of State Bank. So I want to highlight an important issue, the linkage between academia and the industry. When I completed my PhD, I have the option to work for the bank which I was working and to go for the academia side. So it was really confusing for me to which way to go. So after looking at both, and by the way, I'm working for both. I am also part of a visiting faculty in a local university in Karachi and working for the State Bank. But there's a huge gap between the two. The practical side, the industry side, they think that whatever the university guys, they are producing, whatever the research they are conducting, these are not relevant for them. They have their issues different, they have, the needs are different, and the research guys, they are not taking those issues into their research. And the other side, the academia side, they, I don't know why, there is lacking that they don't want to interact with the industry. So the two goes in parallel, and in Pakistan at least, I see a huge gap between the two. Recently we announced new positions in State Bank for IT governance, for knowledge management and for information management. By the way, I started a huge knowledge management program in State Bank of Pakistan. And we are struggling in getting the resource to fill those positions. And the CVs, the profiles that we received from the university, from the candidates, these are not up to a level, up to a quality level that we can hire. So I want your comments on this issue. Thank you.
Do you mind if you could just repeat just the question itself, not everything?
Between industry and the academia. So do you think that some efforts is required to bring the two on the same page or to reduce this gap?
This again is actually one of Mr. Hassan Iqbal's favorite themes. And just last week, there was a conference in Islamabad chaired by Mr. Hassan Iqbal himself, where that particular area was where I presented a paper. And an expression I used was trying to get academia and industry to work together is like trying to mix oil and water, because the incentives for the two groups are very different. For industry, it's basically profit making. For academia, it is publishing papers in academic journals and the pursuit of knowledge. Bringing the two together is not very easy. There is, in addition, the fact that if somebody in academia comes up with a very good idea, leads to a patent, leads to an invention, that may not necessarily help the professor in moving upwards in terms of his academic career. He may not win a full professorship based on the fact that he had an idea which led to an important invention. So the structure of rewards has to change. We are all motivated by incentives, by rewards. If there were rewards, I've had discussions with many people in the audience, including Sarwar Saab, and a question has arisen, why do our faculty publish in very low quality journals, Z category journals? The reason simply is, you can publish there and get a full professorship. So why would you put yourself through the agony of trying to publish in more prestigious journals? Or it gets even worse. Under present HEC rules, whether you go to a low-level institution in Pakistan or you go to MIT, the academic rewards are exactly the same. I've talked about this with people. You must have read in the newspapers, Mr. Hassan Iqbal, he himself is a graduate from a US institution, in fact from the University of Pennsylvania, and 5 times I've had meetings of our non-PhD faculty with representatives from the Fulbright Foundation, from the British Council, from other donor agencies, and the head of the Fulbright Foundation tells me in the 2 years I've been in Pakistan, not one faculty member from Quaid-e-Azam University has applied to a US school. And when I talk to the faculty, the reasons they give me is, well, it takes much longer to get a PhD in the US, it's more rigorous and more difficult, you risk the chance of failure when you take your comprehensive exams. So perhaps the government should come up with a way where if you get a PhD from a good US school, they give you a reward. Like, the best of rewards in Pakistan, give them a corner plot in Islamabad. I say that as a joke, but my point is, if you have a reward structure where people move in the direction that we want them to move in, it'll work. But the way rewards are right now, and I drifted from the question about academia and industry. Same thing there. If the right reward mechanism exists, it may work. But until it does not, people in academia will not voluntarily give up their academic publishing to try to do something which will assist you in industry.
I just want to add, I would just want to give the input to the question posed by Dr. Mahmood, that is industry-academia linkage. I have got a few examples to that, like Volta batteries had really big issue of turnover rate, and one consultant and a group of students from Bahria University, they gave them the turnaround strategy, and they really made a turnaround in Volta battery. That was one example of academia-industry linkage. Then another one is the example of Farm Fresh. The Farm Fresh products which are available in the market, how they started packaging and they started marketing and placing and distributing, that is also contributed by a group of students from the university. But the third thing is most important one, and I would like to highlight to that issue. That is, I had been to USA for a 10 days training program under USEFP, and the problem was the topic was community colleges administration program, like the way IBA Sukkur has started the community colleges. I was the part of the administrative group, and there I learned that how they are connecting the academia with the industry. We are treating the industry on a very high level, whereas they are taking it in every segment of their economy. For example, the lady I met in the community college, Holyoke Community College especially, she told me that their sheriff, local sheriff, came to them and he gave the description and he asked for a specific course in criminology, and he said, you should develop the resource for us so that we can get the resource from here, from the community college, for the local police office, and we can see to these matters. That is the way we establish, but our system do not let us do that. In one university, we defended the diploma in criminology, and the clients for that was proposed the simple laymen or some lawyers or doctors or even police, and that was defended in their academic council, and still they are unable to launch it. So there are things which are the issues on the system on the part of the system. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question, but I have to reach my position to recollect my thoughts. Okay, sir. Similarly, in Sukkur IBA, Career Development Center is working for linkages with the industry. There are many examples, but just to quote short, we recently opened a case study center where our faculty members and students are writing cases on industry. Even in this conference, there are 40 cases being presented from yesterday to today. And case study is the one way where you can actually go to industry and write cases on issues and problem and solution, and these students actually come up with the innovative ideas to solve these problems. But my question is related to exchange program. One exchange is the international exchange, foreigners coming to us, which of course is difficult. But I don't see exchange between universities in Pakistan. Faculty exchange is not happening in Pakistan. Why don't our faculty go to lumps for that matter, or Karachi IBA faculty can come to us for 6 months, not a problem. But what I come to know when we're trying to do that universities have HR policies where their faculty cannot even go to work some other places even for the 6 months. So you being a two leaders sitting here can just announce now that your faculty and our faculty can go and work for the 6 months in each university.
He puts you in a situation.
No, clearly I am not a dictator at Quaid-e-Azam University. Decisions of that nature must go through our academic council, and academic councils exist at all universities in Pakistan, and then it has to be approved by the syndicate. So it's certainly an idea that I will put forward, but it's not a decision that I can make by myself. I can simply commit to supporting it.
Sir, theoretically it is very good idea. But practically there are certain problems. In Sukkur IBA, we do have professors visiting from other universities, like Islamabad. Many of the teachers have been visiting for the full semesters here from Karachi, from Islamabad, and like that. Problem actually comes when, you see, if this exchange is for the purpose of enhancement of academic knowledge, skills, if Sukkur IBA needs some faculty member and needs a professor, a teacher in a subject which the Sukkur IBA itself doesn't have, then it's good. Then that teacher from that university can come. But unfortunately, in our country and in same maybe in the USA, you see, we have very good universities who are known for their academic excellence. There are other universities, I don't need to name them, maybe in a private sector, which are totally profit oriented, where the quality is not any point of consideration. So there, if the faculty member, for example from Sukkur IBA, visits that brings not only bad name for the Sukkur IBA, that also has many other implications. Therefore, theoretically it is okay, but practically it will have to be selective. For example, if the professor of Sukkur IBA visits LUMS, we will have no objection. Visits Karachi IBA, we have no objection. But if he wants to go somewhere which is not known for quality institute, then there will be a problem. Maybe problem may be from various angles. So theoretically it is a good idea, but practically it will have to be implemented selectively, keeping in view the needs of the university itself.
Okay. Thank you very much. So what we can conclude from this discussion?
Sir, I have a question. Sir, can I ask?
You can ask during the break.
Sir, actually this is an important question for this session. Sir, actually I was reviewing some literature about the entrepreneurial teaching in Pakistan. So I found that in past literature, the entrepreneurial teaching standard in Pakistan in the phase of infancy. Then I compared some reports of IBA, total early stage of reports, 2010, 2011, 2012. I found that 9.1% in early stage activity reporting that by the IBA in 2010. Then after 2011, same we have. In 2012 we have 11.7%. So I conducted that research, something what is happening with there. I took the data from megacity survey, which was conducted by the George Mason University and Department of Public Administration, and I also belong to Department of Public Administration. I found that 9.3% young people are running business in Karachi, having the ages between 15 to 29. It means they are nearly belong to the early stage. So my question is, the past literature I have reviewed, they are saying that the phase of teaching standard is infancy. Now, do we have still that question? The teaching standard of entrepreneurial study in the phase of infancy. After 3 or 5, after 2010, we have this question, and now in 2015, we have the same questions. Because we are not getting that much students, they feel that they have knowledge and abilities to run the business. I analyzed that in that data, only 46.5% students who have education from business institutes in Karachi feel that they are ability to run the business after getting the education. This is the mark of alarming. More than 50% students do not feel that they have abilities to run the business after getting the education from the business school. So question is, still we have phase of infancy, and why?
These are the results of your study, or?
Yeah, these are the results of study, and I am asking that why we are in the state of infancy.
This must be answered by your study.
Actually, I am analyzing what is the role of educational institution in development of entrepreneurs. This is my study. I am not answering that, I am analyzing that.
you write another thesis. Okay. Yes, sir, please.
I think I am myself an entrepreneur, and I started entrepreneurship at Institute of Business Management. The one thing I think which has not been talked or missed is the infrastructure in our country, which is not very supportive for the entrepreneurs. And I think until unless we don't look into that angle, it will be very difficult for our graduate to really jump into entrepreneurship.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And now what we can conclude from this session is we have the great leaders and we have the bright minds. The only thing missing is the methods and mechanism by which we can channelize all these resources. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, sir, for your talk. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sir, please have a seat.